Time-lapse of the universe. Have you ever wondered how the universe came to be? How our planet Earth formed? And how life emerged and evolved over billions of years? We're going to take a journey through time and space to explore the fascinating universe, our planet, and the incredible diversity of life that calls it home. Formation of the universe. The story of the universe begins with the Big Bang, an event that occurred approximately 13.8 billion years ago. According to the Big Bang theory, the universe was once compressed into a single point of infinite density and temperature, known as a singularity. Suddenly, this singularity began to expand rapidly, creating space and time in the process. As the universe expanded, it cooled and began to form subatomic particles, such as protons, neutrons, and electrons. These particles eventually came together to form the first atoms, which in turn combined to form the earliest stars and galaxies. 380,000 years after the Big Bang, something incredible happened. The universe cooled enough for electrons to join forces with nuclei and form neutral atoms. This was a phase called recombination, and it transformed the universe into a transparent wonderland. The light that was released during this phase can still be seen today as radiation from the cosmic microwave background. After this stunning phase of recombination, the universe plunged into darkness, devoid of any luminous objects for around 400 million years. This period is known as the Age of Reionization, a time of transition, where the universe started to emerge from its dark ages. Scientists believe that this age of reionization lasted for over 500 million years. During this dynamic phase, clumps of gas collapsed to form the first stars and galaxies. The ultraviolet light from these early cosmic objects cleared out most of the surrounding neutral hydrogen gas, causing the universe to become transparent to ultraviolet light for the first time. The process of reionization and the clearing of the foggy hydrogen gas caused a dramatic transformation, and the universe began to come alive with luminous objects. The universe continued to expand and cool, forming vast clouds of gas and dust known as nebula. Within these nebula, gravity caused the gas and dust to condense and form stars. The first stars were massive and short-lived, but they produced heavy elements such as carbon, oxygen, and iron, which would go on to form the building blocks of planets and life. Those stars exploded as supernovae, scattering their elements into space and creating new generations of stars and galaxies. Formation of our solar system. Over 4.6 billion years ago, a cloud of gas and dust within a larger molecular cloud in the Milky Way galaxy collapsed. And as the cloud contracted, it began to spin, flattening into a disk shape. At the center of this disk, the temperature and pressure were high enough for nuclear fusion to occur, creating our sun. And around that sun, small particles of dust and gas began to stick together, forming larger bodies known as planetesimals. These planetesimals then collided with one another, gradually building up the planets that we know today. Formation of Earth. Earth, home as we know it, was formed out of the dust and gas that remained after the formation of the sun. Over time, these materials began to clump together under the influence of gravity, eventually forming a solid planet. At first, Earth was a hot, molten ball of rock with no atmosphere or water, but over time it began to cool and solidify, eventually developing an atmosphere and oceans. The early atmosphere of Earth was primarily composed of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and water vapor. This atmosphere was not conducive to life, but over time, the emergence of photosynthetic organisms transformed it into an oxygen-rich atmosphere. In addition to the atmosphere, Earth's early oceans were also critical to the evolution of life. These oceans provided a stable environment in which the first life forms could develop and evolve. Over millions of years, the plates that make up Earth's crust moved and collided, creating new landmasses and changing the shape of our planet. This process, known as plate tectonics, had a significant impact on the evolution of life on Earth. It created new habitats for organisms, such as islands and mountain ranges, and caused the formation of new species through the process of speciation. Evolution of life on Earth. Over billions of years, life forms evolved to survive in a wide variety of environments, from the deep oceans to the highest mountains. The origin of life on Earth is still a mystery, but scientists believe it began around 3.5 to 4 billion years ago, in the form of simple, single-celled organisms. These early life forms likely arose in Earth's oceans, where they had access to the necessary elements for life, such as carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus. The earliest life forms on Earth were bacteria and archaea. Over time, these organisms evolved into more complex life forms, such as plants, animals, and fungi. One of the most significant events in the evolution of life on Earth was the emergence of photosynthetic organisms. These organisms were able to harness the energy of the sun to produce food, creating the foundation of the food chain. For the first few billion years of Earth's history, life on the planet was exclusively made up of single-celled organisms. These organisms were incredibly diverse and adapted to a wide variety of environments, from the depth of the oceans to the scorching heat of the early Earth. And over time, these organisms evolved and diversified, developing new ways to move, eat, and reproduce. Some of these early organisms even formed symbiotic relationships with one another, laying the foundation for the emergence of more complex life forms. Around 540 million years ago, a remarkable event took place in the history of life on Earth: the Cambrian explosion. During this period, a vast array of new and complex life forms emerged, including trilobites, brachiopods, and early vertebrates. This explosion of diversity was likely driven by a combination of factors, including rising oxygen levels in the atmosphere and the emergence of new ecological niches. Over time, these new life forms continued to evolve and diversify, giving rise to an incredible diversity of life. This was followed by one of the most fascinating periods in the history of life on Earth, the Mesozoic era. The period of dinosaurs on Earth had lasted from about 252 million years ago to 66 million years ago. During this period, the Earth was home to a wide range of dinosaurs, from small, agile species to enormous behemoths like the Tyrannosaurus rex and the Brachiosaurus. These creatures dominated the landscape and were the masters of their environment. The Mesozoic era was also a time of great change and upheaval, marked by major geological events such as the breakup of the supercontinent Pangaea and the rise of the first flowering plants. It was a time of adaptation and innovation, as species struggled to survive in an ever-changing world. And as the era progressed, the dinosaurs faced new challenges and threats, including changes in climate and the emergence of new predators. The period of dinosaurs on Earth came to a sudden and dramatic end, marked by the catastrophic event that forever altered the course of life on our planet. Around 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid struck the Earth, unleashing a wave of destruction that would have been felt around the world. The impact created massive fires and triggered earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, leading to a period of darkness and cold that lasted for months. This period of darkness and cold, known as the impact winter, was devastating for many of the species on Earth, including the dinosaurs. With their food sources depleted and their habitats destroyed, many of these creatures were unable to survive and slowly began to die out. In the wake of this event, new species began to emerge, including the mammals that would eventually give rise to humans. It was a time of transition and adaptation, as life on Earth began to slowly recover and evolve in the wake of this cataclysmic event. Following the extinction of the dinosaurs, mammals emerged as the dominant life form on Earth, and over time, these mammals continued to evolve and diversify, giving rise to a wide variety of species, including primates. Around 7 million years ago, the first hominids, the ancestors of humans, emerged in Africa. From our earliest origins, humans have evolved and adapted to survive in a wide range of environments, from the frozen tundra of the Arctic to the sweltering heat of the desert. Over time, humans developed advanced tools, language, and social structures that allowed us to thrive and build civilizations. We created art, music, and literature, and explored the world around us, venturing into uncharted territories and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Despite facing countless challenges and setbacks along the way, humans continued to progress and innovate, creating new technologies and advancing our understanding of the world around us. And as we continue to explore and learn more about the world around us, we gain a deeper understanding of our place in the grand scheme of things. We see how the past has shaped the present and how the present will shape the future.